शुभं करोति कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदा शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योति नमोऽस्तु ते।
Good evening, everyone. It's my pleasure to welcome Paul Raj sir on behalf of CRDE. Welcome, sir. I welcome all the guests who are attending this webinar. Actually, we conduct this webinar twice a month, and this webinar is for the enhancement of the teaching faculty. So we try to bring as many topics as possible so that it can help all the teachers, not only for one particular subject, but overall development of the teacher is needed. So we try to conduct a seminar or webinar every month so that teacher can get total development of their personality as well as for their subject. So today I think Paul Raj sir will help us a lot to understand mathematics. Even though, sir, I'm not a science teacher, I am a arts graduate. I used to take political science, but today I think I am making a point so that I can understand maths better than what I used to do in my school days. So I think many other teachers can join today's webinar to help their knowledge. So, sir, welcome again on behalf of CRD. So I hand over to Uma ma'am to start with the prayer.
Yeah. Thank you, Sadhna ma'am. A very good evening to one and all. On behalf of Center of Resource Development for Educators, I, Mrs. Uma Mahesh, welcome you all to our 48th session of Tuesday webinars. Before we begin with our session, a brief about CRDE. Center of Resource Development for Educators is the initiative of educators Dr. Suresh Nair and Mrs. Deepa Desai. Dr. Suresh Nair, President of CRDE, a state teacher awardee, joined 𝐕𝐬𝐮𝐴 and Junior College in 2006 after serving for KC College for about 18 years as a professor of physics. Dr. Suresh Nair is an able administrator and a perfect educationist. His visionary endeavor in the field of education paved the way to fetch him an array of accolades. He is a co-author of physics textbooks for junior colleges and MHT CET for engineering entrance examination. Mrs. Deepa Desai, Secretary of CRDE. Mrs. Deepa Desai has been in the field of education for nearly 4 decades and is a recipient of many awards for her work. Former principal of Arya Vidya Mandir, Juhu, an ICSE board, the founder principal of Mahapragya Public School Kalba Devi, a CBSE school in South Mumbai, and former head of IES Manik Vidya Mandir. She is a woman of many talents. Her rich experience as an educationist also made her an innovative and knowledgeable trainer for the CBSE and Sri Kelvani Mandal group of schools in Sherpur, Dhule. Center of Resource Development for Educators is a platform where teachers and educators are manured to excel and mentor the student community through local and international mentorship. CRDE offers opportunity to experiment and implement ideas, innovations, and collaborations to achieve performance and continuous professional excellence. CRDE is where confluence of the like-minded individuals share and imbibe knowledge, experience through interaction, deliberation, and international exposure. Today, we have a very important session presented by Mr. John Paul Raj. Mr. John Paul Raj is a mathematics educator, trainer, and content creator who has dedicated his career to helping students and teachers experience mathematics as something meaningful, visual, and beautifully logical. He holds a master's degree in mathematics and a B.Ed. and has taught across top Indian boarding schools and international curricula, working closely with grades 6 to 12 learners. Beyond the classroom, John runs the growing YouTube channel, John Paul Raj, where he breaks down math concepts with clarity, storytelling, and a deep emphasis on conceptual understanding. His online webinars, Math Unplugged, and live streams have helped hundreds of students, teachers, and parents rethink the way they approach mathematics. Mr. John Paul Raj leads practical, hands-on webinars for educators focusing on how to simplify difficult topics, reduce math anxiety, and introduce visual and intuitive approaches that genuinely work in Indian classrooms. His webinars are known for being high energy, highly relatable, and packed with ideas teachers can use immediately. In this upcoming webinar for CRDE, Mr. John Paul Raj brings one of the most powerful global ideas in math education to Indian teachers, exploding dots, inspired by the work of Dr. James Tanton. He will show how a single visual model can unify place value, arithmetic, division, basis, and even elements of algebra, turning abstract ideas into something students can literally see happening. For educators teaching grades 6 to 10 in CBSE, ICSE, and Maharashtra State Board schools, this webinar offers a rare chance to experience mathematics through a lens that is playful, visual, deeply intuitive, and transformative. Teachers will walk away with a renewed sense of clarity, a set of classroom-ready strategies, and a visual tool that can change how their students understand math permanently. We are indeed privileged to have you, Mr. John Paul Raj, today with exploding dots. I'm sure all the educators will have important and useful takeaways. Over to you, sir. We welcome you.
Thank you. Thank you. That was for all your kind words. That is wonderful. I just want to first start by saying if you can just put on the chat, it'll give me a rough idea. You're a math teacher, you're not a math teacher, you're teaching 6 to 8, you're teaching 9 to 10, just a rough idea. If you just put something on the chat, and I'll quickly pick up from there. We are 7, 8 of us here, so if you just quickly put on the chat, math teacher, non-math teacher, 6 to 8, 9 to 10. Okay, if you could just put that on the chat, and I will quickly see what comes up. The reason I said that is so that I can say, that is what we are hearing from people. We are hearing that I take maths for 6. I'm a retired teacher of primary school, and someone said, help. Wow, there's so much, all different kinds of reactions going on here. Fantastic. Thank you so much for all this. Former professor of Delhi University, okay. Achha. I really like Delhi, by the way, okay. I've been in Delhi for some time, but thank you for having me. But this is, one good thing, I always try to do, who am I talking to, who's there in front of me, and which definitely makes sense that, I heard what Mrs. Uma said. I don't know how much, to what extent I'll go, because the really main thing is I want to connect with people. All right, doesn't matter whether someone is a math teacher and someone said I'm a non-math teacher, and if I may just say something like that, I don't think, and this is my belief, you feel free to disagree, I don't think there is a non-math person. Very controversial statement to start with. Huh? I don't really think, it's just, I really don't think. And I'll tell you what, perhaps the one reason it drives me insane or gives me sleepless nights to communicate in different ways is because of that belief. The reason I sometimes don't just stick to one particular textbook, I find different ways, is because of that inner belief that everyone counts. I actually wrote a paper when I was in my very first year of teaching, when I was at Woodstock. I called it Everybody Counts. It's got a very nice ring to it, no? Everybody counts. Everyone can do math and everyone has value. So because of that inner belief, I go nuts. So, but I like to do what I just did, first to figure out how much can I go, because we also have to bear in mind the time. Also, before I go ahead, at this point in time, anything and everything that I have done in life and whatever you heard, I give all the glory to God and my mom for her support. And there's someone sitting here, Dr. Iyer. I must mention that, I in fact told that whatever it is, it's because of people that I was privileged. Honestly, I say I was privileged to have met and interacted with people like Dr. Iyer, and then later on in whichever schools I worked at, students also, I was really privileged. And that is the second reason why I so passionately share with teachers, is because I feel, honestly, I say I was privileged. Har kisi ko, they don't have that kind of, I would go to say, not everyone, Mrs. Iyer, not everyone is fortunate to have had that experience with you.
Thank you.
Okay. And I genuinely mean that. Okay. I genuinely mean that. And that is why opportunities wherever I get, whichever webinar I go, I say that I was very privileged to have met some of the people that I've met and interacted with. And that gives me another reason to be responsible to say, okay, now what are you going to give back, John? What are you going to do about it? Okay. So that's second reason. Having said that, let's just go and quickly see what have I set to do. All right. Of course, my it's not just sessions, but I call it Math Unplugged because, I think that, there are certain things that you just unplug and, keep going with that. But before we go anywhere with that idea, this is something that I want to do. Okay. And I hope this is what I want you to take away, before at the end, whatever, how much time we have, half an hour, 40 minutes or whatever. Okay. The big idea, this webinar is not about activities. Sometimes, we attend webinars, we go for meetings, acha kya karne wala hai? We're going to do this thing. Oh, that's a nice activity. That's a nice activity. We will do. Yeah, this is the big idea. The webinar is not about activities. Yeah, we will explore some things from activities, but the main thing, if in the next 30, 40 minutes, if we can arrive at, is this. The mindset, and even the conversation, the chat that we were having before the recording started, is about mindset. It's the mindset of the teacher. Lesson plan ke baare mein, or if it is about what we do and why we don't do. We love activities. Everyone wants to see, I get questions, emails, and, when people ask me what kind of topic, we want to see some activities. We want to see some resources. That's resources for what? For activities, like how to incorporate. But that should not be the whole point. Sometimes what happens is, and the reason I'm talking about mindset is because often I hear the reason I did not do this, like for instance, the lesson plan. Sir, time kahan hai? Where will I have the time to complete the syllabus? And it's a common thing. I've heard this several times, but if you honestly believe, and I don't know who was it who was sharing, said something about planning. I said, that's the plan, na? That's the plan. How you will even incorporate timing, kitna dena hai, how much. It's not that every day we can do these things, but certain things need to be done. And it's not doing an activity or having an activity in class because we have to check that box and say that, what, I did this, and your HOD will say, great job, he did one activity. But do you really believe in it? And therefore that planning becomes so much more important. But it all goes to the mindset of the teacher. Aap kitna bhi webinars attend karo, whatever you do, at the end of the day, if he or she does not want to do, you can't. So I hope at the end of the 30 minutes, we will stir something through the activities we do in our mindsets. And each of us, I'm including myself here, each of us has something to think about and reflect about and write. And like I said, introspection is the key. So without further ado, let's just jump and see something. While I'm saying that, okay, whether you're a math person that you have decided to call yourself or not, I would like to see if you can just get some writing material. I'll wait for a couple of minutes, maybe one or two, if you have something, pen or paper, because you know what, in my opinion, kuch to hona chahiye yaar, So if you have a pen, paper beside you, you will gain 50% more than just people who will watch, okay? This I tell even in my class, okay? So right now, we just have a few people. So whatever I have to share, if you have a pen or paper beside you, it will help. You will gain 50% more than if you're just listening and watching. Okay? Ready? Cool. Let's go. I have something here. And before I say that, like it was mentioned, this is the original work of Dr. James Tanton. I had the privilege again to have met him, not just read his books or, when I saw him, I was teaching at Cathedral at that time, he had come to do some, there was something going on in another school called Aditya Birla World Academy. And when he walked in the halls of Cathedral, I was like, what is he doing here? And actually people did not even recognize him. It was that way. I was like, then I went to our coordinator, the IB coordinator. I said, do you know who's Dr. James Tanton? And then after that, she had to Google and find out, So, yeah, it was a complete random interaction. Actually got to meet and talk to him. And just to know that someone, our contemporary, we are not just talking about someone, who's lived and contributed, contemporary, still lives and breathes and passionately believes that there is joy to be found in the learning of math. That's one reason that we really connected well, okay? So this work that we are, exploring today together is thanks to him. And he knows that today I'm sharing this with you all today, okay? So this is Dr. James Tanton. There's a dot in the third right box. If you want, you can scribble it on your notebooks, okay, or paper. There's one dot, just one dot to the rightmost, okay? Left में कितना भी boxes बनाते जा सकते हो if you want to, but we'll think about that later on. Just one dot. On the left there's one, and as I said, you can keep making the boxes, but there's a rule how you're going to make the box. Before we come to rules, this is actually a interactive slideshow, but now I don't know how many of us will have, so I'll ignore that. But you need to believe me when I'm doing this, okay? What do I mean by believe that? If I click this and try to move this one dot, ये देखो, ठीक है? Can you see this? Everyone happy? Everyone happy? Movement हो रहा है? If I try to do this, पटाक, दोबारा ट्राई करते हैं यार, जोर लगा के, हैया, और जोर लगा के, अरे भाई. So one dot on the rightmost box, if I try to move to the left, nothing is happening, it's going back. This is an observation, okay? I want you to keep an eye and make an observation. One dot. When I move to the left, nahi ho raha hai. So let's try and see what will happen with two dots now. This is how mathematics works. एक से नहीं हो रहा है, दो करके देखते ना क्या होने वाला है. Ready? Don't blink, huh? Don't blink. चाय है, कॉफी है, सुना नहीं, लेकिन don't blink. Next slide. Two dots are there. We already saw that one dot case. Two dots are there, and now let's try and move. Okay, one if I move. अरे दोनों साथ में गए, and you heard a sound, ना? Did you hear that sound? Yeah. Two dots from here have come here. Now from here, if I try and move this one dot, will it go? What do you think? Anyone? Hanji? Anyone? Write in the chat. If that one dot, this is called prediction, by the way, in mathematics. If that one dot, if I move it here, will it go? Yes, Sadhna ji. You don't think so?
No, because I'm
Why
not
do you think so?
No.
No. You are Sadhna.
What happened? On the first slide you showed that it was not moving towards left, so I thought it won't move towards left.
You are thinking like a mathematician.
Okay.
First slide, why didn't it move? Why didn't it move to the left?
But that answer I don't know actually.
Think na, kuch to bolo. Anyone else? Anyone wants to help her? Put some words or put something on the chat. Why? In the first one, it did not move. Yeah, we saw that. We reflected on that. So you are connecting the idea by if it's one, it's not going to move. If it's one, it's not going to move. However, that one here is not actually one. It's what? It's actually two here. Now, what is this here? And why is it two here? And what is one here? Let's give it a name. And to give it a name, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to quickly switch to my iPad to try and explain the same thing here. Okay. Now, this is called, or what he has called, a 2-1 machine. That's what you have to read it as. The arrow goes in this way, which is why, there's a box here. And you just saw me do this thing. 2-1 machine. The meaning is, as long as you see twos, it explodes into one. 2 becoming 1 in that direction. So what it means is if I have two dots here, 2 will become 1 here. But if I had two dots here, that 2 will become 1 here. Is everyone following what I'm doing? Is everyone okay with that? Yes, no, nahi, ha, nahi, 2-1 machine. Machine.
Yes,
Yeah?
yes.
Yes,
No,
Yes.
especially
So
in the binary system. So yes.
Oh, no. Good. Keep that word. I know. It's a binary system you're
Computer,
going
the
there.
switching circuits, everything is off and on and one and zero.
Yeah. I know. We'll come to that in a second, okay?
Yes.
But good,
Thank you.
you spotted that word, okay?
I didn't
So
want you to speak. Thank you.
no, that's all right. That's okay. Now, if it was one dot, that makes no difference, right? We already saw that, okay? So, as she said, that is what we call a code. That is what we call a code. And let's just, before, I think rather than jumping a couple of steps and throwing everyone off, let's just go back to that slide again. We already saw that this one is not going to go up here, okay? It's not going to go up here. So let's just go back, okay? This is what we started with. When there was one dot, it made no difference. That one dot, if I call it the value one as, let's call it ONE, is written as 001. That's the code. And because it's 2-1 machine, you understand what I mean by 2-1 machine? 2 explodes. We are only using 2 digits, 0 and 1, which is why somebody, I think it was Dr. Rita, I don't know whose voice it is. Was it Dr. Rita's voice? Kiska आवाज था वो? Someone said binary code, okay? Because we're using 0 and 1s, it's a binary code. I didn't want to reveal the name, but because she said that, and I didn't want anyone to feel out of it.
Yes, it was me. Yes.
It was Dr. Rita. Great. So we are using the 2-1 machine to demonstrate what in just using 0 and 1, what the value ONE will be, what it will look like, what it can be represented. 001. So you understand why, right? 1, it can't explode any further. But when I have 2 dots, it came here as 1. So the code, anyone can guess what's the code? This is nothing here, no dots here. That means kitna? 0. Yahan pe ek dot aa gaya. That can't move any further. That's 1. And there's none. So the code for the value TWO, don't think of the numeral, okay? So let me just switch here and tell you what that is, okay? What I mean by the value TWO is represented as 010 code. We use the word binary, but Dr. Tanton used the word engine, 2-1 engine. That's what Dr. Rita was saying, binary, because you're just using 2s. And we'll see this very soon, okay? What that 010. But did you understand how we got that 1 actually? There were 2 dots here. The moment we moved it to the left, that actually became that 1 dot. And this then is the code or the binary code for the value TWO. I don't want to deliberately use this as this is a representation. Huh? Mathematics is all about representation. This thing is a representation in another system. The system that we follow is called the decimal system. Just like there's a binary system, but we'll talk about that thing later. That's why I didn't want to use the numeral 2 that represents the idea of TWO, 2 trees, 2 animals, 2 cows, whatever that is, okay? But TWO2 is represented in a system called the binary system using these symbols, a 0, a 1, and a 0. Now we need to practice, okay? Itna jaldi mein chhodunga nahi aap logon ko. Okay? So that's 2 dots represented as 0, 1, 0. At any point of time, if you have a question, please make sure that you drop it in the chat, okay? If any time you have a question, you're going to create a code with 3 dots, okay? You're going to start, you have a paper and pen, start at 3 dots here, use the same rules. Rule kya hai? Whenever, and it's a 2-1 engine, still a 2-1 engine, we have not shifted the gear, okay? Still 2-1 engine, use what we just had in mind. 2 dot hai, wo 1 ban jayega left jaane mein. So think about it and quickly put on the chat, what is the code for the value called THREE? This is what they said, 3 dots. The value called THREE. मैं यहाँ पे बनाता हूँ with my 3 dots and then we'll switch to that, okay? What do you think? All right? So remember, 3 dots. What's going to happen? Anyone? I'm waiting for the chat, on the chat, okay? What's the code for the value called 3 or 3 dots? This is still the 2-1 engine. Huh? Let's hear it from Sadhna ma'am.
Sir, you have caught wrong person.
नहीं, I always catch the right person.
Okay.
आप मेरे बारे में बोल रहे हो यार. I always catch the right person.
So it can be 111.
It can be 111 and why? ये पूछना जरूरी है. आंसर क्या है? Why? कैसा है आपको 111?
सर हर एक बॉक्स में एक एक डॉट्स गए इस तरह से.
आप यू बिलीव ये क्या है ना मैम, आप ना इक्वालिटी पे बिलीव करते हो. 3 है, तीनों को एक एक कर दो.
Yes.
लेकिन ये हम काम कर रहे हैं. वी आर वर्किंग इन द 2-1 मशीन. 2-1 मशीन में काम कैसा होता है? इफ आई हैव 2 only that can move up, है ना?
हाँ.
Right? I think I've switched to something else, right? Okay. If I have 2, only that can move up, right?
Okay.
Yes. If it moves up, how many dots will be here?
1, 2, and that is 0, 2, 1 this way.
अच्छा. Okay.
That 1 dot is equal to 2 dots. So 2 dots they make, then it has become 1 dot.
Correct. अभी ये एक हो गया. Can it move further up?
No.
So what is the code?
Is it correct? It won't move further.
It will not move. You're right. So what is the code?
The code is 0 to 1.
यहाँ पे क्या है? The code. Yeah, I see what you're answering, but look at the code as a number of dots present.
Okay, then okay.
0
1
0
1 1. Okay.
0 1 1.
Mm-hmm.
0 1 1 is the code for 3. Now, anyone? Try 4. Come on. Use the same rules, each of you. 4. Is this clear, by the way? Is everyone understanding? Why is it 0 1 1?
Yes, that 2 become 1.
Yeah. All right, let's start with 4. Shall we start with 4? Try it out, please, quickly. 4 dots here. That means that's the value. That's the value, okay? That's 4 dots, okay? That's the value. 4 apples, 4. But remember, it's still the 2-1 engine. That means it works in that fashion, 2-1 engine. Work it out the same way. 2-1 engine. What's the code? Anyone?
0 1 2.
0 1 2. I'm going to write it as you said, okay? 0 1 2. I'm going to write. I'm not going to say yes or no, okay? I'm just Anjuma, Doctor. Is this answer for this one? The 4 dots. People who put up 0 2 0. 0 1 1 1 1 1. I'm just
1 1 0 1 1 0
1 1 0. Acha. Okay, let's just check. Shall we? All right. I'm going to come back here and let's reveal the truth. Okay, let's just see what's going on. Drag the dots. Remember, it's a 2-1 engine. Okay, यहाँ पे कौन सा है? So some of the answers 0 1 1 तो है ही नहीं यहाँ पे. 0 2 2 करके है. 1 0 0 है.
1 1 0 पे क्लिक करो.
अच्छा नहीं क्लिक छोड़ो यार, पहले खेलते हैं ना. ये क्लिक क्विक क्या है? Alright, so let's just take 2 dots,
yes,
okay, and move them here, okay?
Yeah.
2 dots आ गया. अच्छा. Now these 2 dots, can they move up to the left? These 2 dots, can they move to the left?
No, sir, but middle one we can move, no? Not these 2.
Middle one तो एक ही है ना, मैम. वो तो 2 चाहिए ना हमको मूव करने. Middle one तो एक ही हो गया ना. See, you need to have 2 dots. ये देखो, आप कोशिश भी करोगे तो नहीं जाएगा. देखो, can you see that? Can you see that?
Yes.
ये 2 को पहले लेके जाते हैं. देखो, ये 2 इधर आ गया. अब 2 हो गया ना यहाँ पे.
हाँ, ये मूव होएगा अभी.
Now ये होगा और यहाँ पे कितना आएगा वहां पे?
1 रहेगा.
1 हो गया. So what is the code?
1 1 0.
वापस सोच के बताओ यार. वापस सोच के. 1. ये 2 यहाँ पे आ गया तो यहाँ पे कितना रह जाएगा मैम? If these 2 come here, what's left here?
So that way the dot we can see 1, but actually it will be 2 dots. हो गया.
मैं दोबारा आपको डेमोन्स्ट्रेट करके दिखाता हूँ. Let's go back, okay? Let's play this again. How much did we have first? 4
dots.
4 ना?
Yes.
4. What is our rule? 2 करके 1 बनता है.
करके आगे जाएगा.
2 will become 1.
Yes.
Right? Okay? All right, let's go do that again. So the 2 dots come here, become 1.
Yes.
This one cannot move by itself. दो होना चाहिए, फिर ये आगे बढ़ेगा. So if these two, when they come here, they are becoming 1 when they come here. This has become 0 now.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
This has become 0. Now there are 2 here. These 2 can move up?
No.
Yes?
Yes. Become 1.
There are 2, na? They can move, na?
They will become 1.
They will become 1, but what will be left in the space?
0, 1, 0, 0.
0, because nothing. It's gone, right? It's gone.
Yes.
That's 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0. Police को
Yes.
बुलाओ. है ना?
Yes. Yes.
Is it okay? You're just saying yes, ऐसे ही?
नहीं सर, थोड़ा सोच के बोल रही हूँ. I can
थोड़ा
understand.
सोच के बोल रहा है. नहीं, अच्छी बात है. मैथमेटिक्स में कभी-कभी सोचना पड़ेगा. Now, you know what? You can even put it back actually. This is going back. But I want you to actually get a bit more confidence. You know what? Go ahead with 8. Come on. Each one of you. Work it out and put it there. चलो. Even if it's एक भी किया ना बहुत हो गया मेरे लिए. 8. Try it out. चलो. And then I'll tell you, my main thing is why does it work? That is what I want to. So ये 8 करने के बाद we are going to see why. सिर्फ ये dots के साथ खेल नहीं है. I want it. That's why I said ना paper pen ले लो. Try करो. Use the same rule. 2, 1. 2s will become 1s. Work it out. चलो. There's no special prize for the first answer, ना, by the way. And while you're doing it, मैं ऐसा commentary देते रहूँगा. हमारे स्कूलों में ना, we reward people who do the fast. सबसे पहला नहीं.
1, 1, 1, 2.
आप ना आंसर ना वहाँ पे डालो चैट में, ठीक है? वो बाकी का बाद में देखा जाएगा. ये कौन है अपर्णा? ये कौन है अपर्णा? Anyone? Okay, Arpana, sorry. I'm so sorry. I misread that. Arpana, would you like to explain how you got this? And that's right, by the way. Okay. Right or wrong की बात नहीं है. Explain करो, चलो. I am muted by host. I am muted by host. Okay, sorry. Host ji, can you please unmute Arpana so that we can hear her explanation? Mrs. Ume, if you can just, yeah. No? Yes?
Sadhna ji, can you unmute Arpana? Or let me try.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello,
Okay,
can you hear me, sir?
Yes.
Yes. I am from Mumbai, sir, and as there are eight dots.
Hanji.
So if we are shifting to left hand side, with 1 dot, 2 dots are coming, correct?
Correct.
Yes. So 4 dots will be in the next. Yes. So last box there will be 0. Now in the third box there will be 4 dots. Again we can shift it to left hand side. So two dots will come together. So there will be two dots with 1 dot, 1 more. So 4 dots. That means 2 dots. So again the third box 0 will come. And there are 2 dots in the second box. So those 2 dots can be shifted to left hand side. So there will be 1, 0, 0, 0. Is it correct, sir?
आपको मेरा साउंड इफेक्ट सुनाई दे रहा है?
Yes, yes.
हाँ, तो फिर बस ना देखो ये
Yes,
okay, let's
thank you,
just
sir.
explain,
Thank you.
let's just explain this way, okay? Everyone just watch. This is two one machine का मतलब क्या है? दो का ना पैर कर लो पहला, okay? 2 becomes 1, right sadhana? Okay,
Yes,
sadhana
yes,
ma'am,
yes,
okay.
yes.
2 becomes 1 मतलब यहाँ पे लेफ्ट पे ना कितना डॉट्स मारूंगा मैं? 4 ना, okay? So once these are circled with 2, you know what? You got to get them out because that's the idea of exploding. एक बार explode हो गया तो गया हो. Okay? Now let's do the same treatment यहाँ पे. So let's make 2, 2. यहाँ पे कितना डॉट आगा? 2. Explode. गया हो. अब ये 2 है ना? What will happen? That comes here as 1. Explode. अब वैल्यू बोलो. 1, 0, 0, 0. The dot, the value called 8, E-I-G-H-T, 8 people, participants, 8 participants in a Zoom meeting represented with the code 1000 in the binary system. Okay? Now, you are eager to find, is that okay? Is it still confusing? Before I go to why it works? Okay, everyone?
Yes,
Yeah?
yes.
All right. Anyone, whether it's Arpana, by the way, great, thank you. Anyone would like to explain or think, how's it going? Ye kaam kyun karta? Because you know what you can do with even 3-1. Shall we try the 3-1 before I explain why it works? Do you want to try the 3-1? Maybe, yeah. Shall we? Yes? No? Let's do the 3-1. Let me see whether you can extend the idea, okay? So, that's a very bad thing I said, you know. Did you hear what I just said? The question? Did everyone hear the thing that I just said? I said, let me see if you can do it. Very wrong phrasing, okay? And Dr. IS, she'll know, you know, B.Ed school में ये like unknowingly ऐसे words निकल जाते हैं, and I'm glad I made that error. But soon I wanted you to know that sometimes, especially maths, कोई और subject, मुझे I don't know about other subjects, but maths में ना, this is the power of words, huh? Unknowingly, sometimes if you can see even that slip that comes out, it happened to me regardless of how many lessons you teach, huh? Let me see if you can do it. वो खत्म हो गया ना मेरा belief कहाँ? So if there's something that you want to learn, forget about this. Learn this कि knowingly भी कब निकल जाता है ना, apologize करो और गाड़ी आगे चलने दो. It can happen, but these little things, even if kids don't realize, these are the reasons, you know. Anyway, I should not go into the philosophy, but I apologize. Okay, 1 minute. All right, let's just run through this quickly. Okay, 3. Now this is called a 3-1 machine. Now it's called what? 3-1 machine. Basic idea, sadhana and friends, listen, कि 1 है. Just like in the 2-1 machine, if it's 1, it's not going to happen. कुछ नहीं होने वाला है, वो 1 होगा तो. Okay, anyone knows what do we need for a 3-1 machine to move? If you have 2, will it happen? This is a 3-1 machine, not a 2-1 machine. If I have 2, will it move? Mrs. Uma? What do you think? Will it move?
Yes.
It's a 3-1 machine. 3-1 machine में it will move, is Mrs. Uma saying, but देखो वो नाना कर रहा है भाई, because now
3 dots.
you need 3
3
to
dots.
move.
Yes.
2-1 में move हो रहा था. You need
3 dots.
So let's go back. Go to the next one. Okay, that's 2 dots. Okay, this is it. Okay, 2-1. This is a 2-1 machine. Okay, unlike the 2. Okay, it is not moving. That means the code in the 3-1 machine for 2 TWO is what? Is what?
002.
002. How beautiful is that? Let me just come back to this, okay? Look at that. We just worked out that in a certain world called 2-1, that idea of 2 cows is expressed as 010. In another world, कोई और दुनिया में, that same idea of 2 cows idea is represented using symbols. This is which machine? We said 3-1 machine. यहाँ पे क्या है वो? 002. That for me is both beautiful and baffling. एक ही चीज है. The same idea, you with me? Are you understanding the beauty here? The same idea, 2 apples, 2 cows, 2 trees, same idea is expressed using different symbols. That's why I said don't look at the numeral 2 and say कि वो 2 है. वो एक representation है. It means it represents some idea. And now we are actually seeing that the same idea called TWO in one world called the 2-1 machine, it looks like this. 0, 1, 0, because you're just making of those 2 digits, zeros and ones, binary system. Now the ternary system or base 3 system, as they say in mathematics, you're using 3 digits, 0, 1 and 2. And that same idea, TWO, is represented as 002. I find it beautiful. Sorry man, I can't contain myself. आप लोग को ना शायद उतना एक्साइटमेंट नहीं है ना, मुझे नहीं ये सब देखे ना, wow. And that propels me to say why. So you have to give me some extra time, right, Dr. Uma? मैं थोड़ा ना excited ही हो जाता हूँ. एक मिनट. Let's just go back to that thing and play a little bit more. Sadhna ji.
Yes.
How are you doing?
I'm fine, sir. At least after so many years, I'm learning some mathematics.
आपने तो बोल ही दिया ना, मैंने क्या बोला? Everybody counts. ठीक है?
Yes,
So now there are 3 dots.
Yes.
Now there are 3 dots, Sadhna ji. This is your time. Okay? 3 dots. This is still 3-1 machine, huh? 3-1 machine. Give me the code. Come on. Give me the code. 3. It's a 3-1 machine. Remember that.
First, okay, we'll move to 0.
ये तीनों को यहाँ पे आगे तक, यहाँ पे कितना बनेगा? ये 3 यहाँ पे आएगा तो कितना बनेगा?
3 नहीं आएगा ना सर, 2 ही आएगा ना.
3-1 machine का मतलब है 3 1 बन जाता है. That's the idea. Okay, so if you look at Tanton's ideas, 2 becomes 1.
Now 3 becomes 1.
3 becomes 1. Okay, so translate that idea that way and see these 3. If I move it up here, how many dots will be here?
1.
1. वो आगे जाएगा?
सर देखना पड़ेगा. देखिए ना, मेरे को बोल नहीं सकती. देखते हैं.
अरे यार कॉन्फिडेंस होना चाहिए. चलो आप ट्राई मारना. क्या
जाएगा सर? जो उधर गया जाएगा.
3 जाएगा मैडम. 3 करके जाएगा वो. 1 2 नहीं जाएगा. अब we already saw that before, ना? Remember we saw if there are 2 it will not go. Remember 2 is not going to go up.
Yeah.
This is in a 3. This is 3-1 machine. In a 3-1 machine, if there's 2, it's not going to go up, right?
Yeah.
So now if I have 3 dots, that 3 will go up, and what will be here? What will be here?
1.
1. Will that go up any further?
No, I don't think.
No. तो कोड क्या है?
0 1 0.
क्या बात है साधना मैम?
Don't tell me it's correct.
Don't tell me it is correct का मतलब क्या है? तो मैं क्या बोलूंगा? 3 dots in one world was 0 1 1. 3 dots in another world is 0 1 0. And this is why this is correct, by the way. And this is why one must to really understand. क्योंकि ना हम लोग ना, when what we do in our schools is that we just go into place value just like that. There is a meaning behind this. There's a meaning behind this. And then once we understand the place, this in this system, in the way it goes, the rest of algebra, I can go on and on, but let me just finish with this explanation, Dr. Uma, Mrs. Uma, if that's okay. Yeah. क्यों हो रहा है? I just want to make sure that, just give me some, I know because I'm keeping an eye on the time also, but let me just come back, okay? Now, before we take it there, the question, why does this work? And I want you also in your schools, in your students, it's no point in just giving children some activity and saying, and then it looks like magic, but they all are longing. Why? You must get them to that curiosity, and you must empower them, giving them that reason. And you know what? That's the magic behind it. The 2-1 machine, let's get back, okay? So we had these 3 blocks, if you were to call it, okay? In the 2-1 machine, this is all in powers of 2. Now, Sadhna ma'am and anyone, if some of this goes a little off, just bear with me. I'll repeat it again. Powers of 2. Powers of 2 in this direction. तो यहाँ पे ना, it is 2 to the power of 0. यहाँ पे it is 2 to the power of 1. And यहाँ पे 2 to the power of 2. I'll repeat that again, okay? 2-1 machine, 2 to the power of 0, 2 to the power of 1, 2 to the power of 2. In a 3-1 machine, if you were to construct a 3-1 machine, okay, the place value, I'm using that word, okay, the place value in a 3-1 machine in the same way, 3 to the power of 0, 3 to the power of 1, and 3 to the power of 2. And if you had one more box here, what would that be? What's the place value here, Sadhana ma'am?
3 to the power 3 maybe.
ये maybe बोलना छोड़ो और सीधा ना confidently मारो हथौड़ा.
मार दिया
लोहा
सर,
गर्म है. Very good, very good. The more you keep going left, as I said before, you can go. So that's the logic. Now, what is this? Okay, 2 to the power of 0, anyone knows, any number to the power of 0 is just 1. 2 to the power of 1 is just 2. And 2 to the power of 2 is 4. Okay, this is what we are calling place value. Okay, place value. Now, let's just go back to our value, 2 cows. 2 cows. 2 cows का representation क्या था? 0, 1, 0. Let's just put that digits there, okay? 0, 1, 0. Okay, now look at the place value system. 0, 1, 0. How many 4s are there? None. How many 2s are there? 1. How many 1s are there? None. So that means it is 2 cows. I'll repeat this again, okay? 0, 1, 0 is the representation. This place value is called 2 to the power of 0. This place value is called 2 to the power of 1. This place is called 2 to the power of 2. Why are we working with 2s? Because that is the 2-1 engine. यहाँ पे 0 है. So none of 2 to the power of 0, 1 of 2 to the power of 1, and none of 2 to the power of 2. कितना है वो? 2 गाय या 2 बकरी या 2 जो भी हो. Now let's look at the same idea in 3-1 machine. 3 to the power of 0. Let's look at the same idea. 2. TWO. 3-1 machine क्या था? 0, 0, 2. Right? Okay, let's just put that thing here. 0, 0, 2. 0, 0, 2. Let's just find that thing again. Any number to the power of 0 क्या है? ये तो 1 है. ये तो 3 है. ये तो 9 है. और ये तो 27 है. 0, 0, 2. How many 9s are there? None. How many 3s are there? None. How many 1s are there? 2. तो भले वो ऐसा हो, whether it's 0, 0, 2 or whether it is 0, 1, 0, we are still talking about 2 cows. Now, let's just extend this idea to what we said in our schools we use or in our system we use is the decimal system. Okay. Now, how does these number systems work? If it's a binary system based to 2 digits, 0 and 1. Binary system based to 2-1 engine, 0 and 1. 3-1 engine, how many digits? 0, 1 and 2. 3-1 engine, 0, 1 and 2. Decimal system base 10. It's other words in Tanton's language 10-1 engine. How many digits are we going to use? Anyone? How many digits are we going to use?
9.
0 to 9. Always 1 less, huh? 1 and 1, 2-1 engine, 1 less, 0 and 1. 3-1 engine, 1 less, 0, 1 and 2. Okay? 10-1 engine or the decimal system, 0 through 9, and it is the same representation. If you put the blocks, just put the blocks, okay? Same representation. ये क्या है? ये place value को क्या कहते हैं? 10 to the power of 0. This is called 10 to the power of 1, and this is called 10 to the power of 2, which is why we call this the units place. This is 1. This we call the tens place, which is 10. This is called the hundreds place. What I have done today is just scratch the surface. कुछ भी नहीं बताया आप लोगों को यार. कुछ नहीं किया है. Just scratch the surface. मगर we connected, no? Sadhana ma'am?
Yes, sir, I got connected.
Okay, questions before we wrap up, okay? I'll say something more, okay? Any questions about whatever I've said so far? Any questions? And believe me when I said I've not done much, okay? I had planned a lot, but my main thing was to connect and to, tell me, any questions? Anything you wanted me to repeat?
I just wanted to give an observation. Is it okay if I do?
Yeah, Dr. Rita, right?
Yes. I mean,
Haan ji, bolo.
see, naturally, you would know anybody from mathematics is, aware of the binary, ternary, or whatever systems. I'm not very unaware of Dr. James' works, but somewhere I feel that, I have watched his videos in the past, not very recently, but somewhere when he came to division, for example, or multiplication of numbers, especially division, somehow I felt that, okay, initially when he talks of subtraction or like jumping the dots, or he calls them exploding, that is okay. It's easy, maybe for a very junior, school child, it'll be very impressive. But as one matures, then certain things you start questioning naturally, even in the decimal system, as our children are taught. They are not given every logic. Logic means, for example, I talk of the commutative law. They will not understand because they have a certain level of, not knowledge, understanding. So somewhere I felt, where is all this going to? Is any school or anywhere in our country, I'm not at all sure, but beyond the elementary level, are they using this, whatever he calls it, the 2-1 is the binary. It's a different name. That's all that I felt. Decimal system, he's calling it a 10-1 machine. We understand. But division where it comes, or when it comes to negatives, where he talks of antidots and all, for every antidot, you have to introduce a dot. So I felt that somewhere, for a child also, ultimately it's going to get complicated rather than doing a simple multiplication the way because there's logic in that also, even if it's a 2-digit multiplication. Somewhere,
it's good that you brought it up, because here's the thing. Even the system that you spoke about, the conventional traditional system, okay? So for those of you who, the rest, I just don't want to lose them out. The conventional system is that, you see a number like 384 and let's just say there's another number called 217 and Mrs. Sadhna, Dr. Uma, Dr. Iyer, when we see this, the conventional, the traditional system is we add, how do we add? We add from right to left or left to right?
Yeah, we do it right to left, but I know there's a left to right.
Just a sec. We do from right to left or left to right. Just
right to left.
Right to left?
The ones place, the tens place.
Correct. Have we ever asked the question why? When we read left to right, na?
That's because we introduce the ones place, the tens place, the hundreds place. That is how they are introduced to numbers. The place, they are not called places initially, unless they've grown up a little.
No, that is...
So I know it's left to right is possible. I'm not saying it's not possible. I mean, in this box system that he calls. But, why? Okay. As an advantage, maybe people are saying, okay, we can do left to right or right to left. But ultimately, it's the same logic. It's the same. So I just wanted to know whether it is actually being used to teach school. I have not taught in school. So I'm very curious to know whether people are taking it, except the very junior level, where the dot pops out and he makes a sound and, the pop. Yes, it's interesting as a visual for young children. I just wanted to know, is it being used, especially, when you go into algebra and all?
You know what I talked about, right? You know what I talked about when I started this thing, right, ma'am?
I don't remember.
अपने mindset में है.
नहीं, mindset में I am open.
No, I'm not. I'm just let me complete what I said. Let me complete what I said, okay? Your question was, is it being used?
Is it being used in schools? That's what I said. That is
it being
because I have been associated. We sponsor some children economically weaker section. So when they come with their books, they are not taught. It's the same finger counting. That is how they do the subtraction. So many, or we tell them of pizza slices. You take off so many. Instead of the antidot dot. I mean, there are ways that we explain. Or it is explained. I should not bring myself in. So where actually I have not seen it. That's why I'm asking. And I live very close to a school here. So
so Dr. Rita, my opinion, okay, and take it as a pinch of salt, is that there are several approaches to teaching.
Of course, yes. Of course, yes.
Please let me complete what I have to say. Just please let me hear me out first, okay? There are several approaches to teaching the place value. There are several approaches to even structuring a textbook. You know, I have great admiration for people who've written textbooks, but I really feel that the reason sometimes I find another textbook more beneficial is just because of the way it was laid out, that connection, okay? Because like I just said, there are certain things that happen logically. Logically means, you know, when I see x and y axis, a coordinate plane, I really would love to know why ye 1 kyun hai bhai? Why am I not writing here this way? Because when I'm reading, this should be 1, that should be 2. That's how my mind sees logic, na? But in the school, without, hear me out, please. I need to speak, okay? Without
hearing you. Sorry to say now. You have no. Sorry. Sorry to say, because you're not letting me. I'm not saying you can't do 1, 2, 3, 4 or take a cyclical order, begin with the second quarter. It's not that. But then we can't confuse children whether you can do it this way or I'm not against Dr. James. He's doing a lot of this thing. I've watched his videos. He's very clear about what he's speaking. He tries to make them interesting. That's what we do. But what I'm saying is, ultimately, you can tell of the options, maybe in mathematics clubs or, you know, beyond, but somewhere, as you yourself said, there's a syllabus, people have to work within the time. You know, how much could we cover today? We could not, because time is a constraint. So I'm not saying that we can't do it, but we can make our children aware that, yes, this is also possible. This need not be called first quadrant. We can begin here and then go, you know, in the same order, cyclic or cyclic order. That's possible. Even cyclic is possible. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, is it being used? That's all.
And my answer to that was, right on that slide, it's in the mind. It's a mindset of the teacher. You can go wherever, you can read something, you can go for workshops, you can study anything, but at the end of the day, is it being used? That's up to the teacher.
That's up to the teacher, but she has her constraints. That's what I'm saying. There are a lot of constraints on our teachers.
That is true. That is why I said the number one thing that the teachers will say is syllabus completion. And if there's one small thing, if I have to confess, if I have to use the word confess, throughout my career, throughout kahin bhi maine teach kiya hai, as I said, was always having fun and making the learning of math fun and, you know, through activities. I never ever had the problem to complete the syllabus. I never, and that goes to that, and that goes to what we were talking about much earlier on the planning. If you can plan it, well, then you can pull it off. But if you will only say there is a time and all that, that's why I said, you know, it starts with the belief why you want to do it. It's not because, oh, that activity looks cool.
That's
or,
what I said.
James
the why. Yes, the why is very important.
You know, why do you want to do that thing?
Yeah.
So
it has to go beyond classrooms, I think, because I have seen that maths teaching, I mean, they don't get enough time. So I have interviewed faculty for, mathematics who are appearing for their interviews, the faculty. But the concepts themselves, sometimes are very wrong, or one is not able to. So I also wonder, is it the time constraint? Do teachers go beyond their classrooms to actually interact with the children? Because that is what we have done. It's not that.
Here's the thing, Dr. Rita. No, here's the thing, Dr. Rita. We have someone here in our own group, in our own participants, who said that I'm not a math person. I'm not. Where did that come from? Because if you're saying that, we need to go back to the conventional method, the traditional method, we have examples right here in the 8 who are going through the conventional method, the textbook method of that multiplication division जो हम लोग textbook में कर रहे हैं, वो करके ही उनका, that means something is wrong in the method and the way we've been teaching our concepts. That we need to be honest now. Why? I would say that. I'm sorry. I go black and white.
No,
अगर that is why
wrong नहीं है ना, method तो
नहीं,
wrong नहीं.
method of
The
teaching.
way of teaching कह रहे हो ना.
Correct.
So she didn't say she's not a maths person. She said she's a non-maths teacher. She's not a mathematics teacher.
Sorry to interrupt.
I felt sorry, but because when two maths people get together,
I want to make something very clear, ma'am and sir.
Incorrigible.
Very frankly, I want to tell you, maths is a subject that I used to hate. Very clearly, I want to tell you. But sir is right to some extent, because the teachers, those who taught me, maybe their method was not correct. It was
maybe.
It was not interesting. It had not made me interested in that subject. Maybe that is one of the reasons that I'm not at all interested in maths.
Yeah, that
may be the one of the reasons.
Right.
Yes.
And that is what Mr. John is also saying, that, it is the way you teach. Are you answering their curiosities, questions, applications, whatever, at whatever level. So, but this is different. This is interesting. But I don't know why I was not very, very, especially the division part, I thought it's quite complicated, the way one goes about it. But it's okay. Everybody has a view.
Division is a complicated idea, ma'am. Division is a complicated idea. So complicated, if you can just give me 60 seconds, so complicated that calendars had to be changed. Na? 365.25, 365.24, 2881. Julian calendars, Gregorian calendar. It was an error of just 11 minutes.
No, I'm talking vis-a-vis the traditional method. Traditional and the dot method.
I have a problem with the traditional method.
I don't.
And maybe some other day some other day we can have this conversation.
We must
maybe
have
not
this
for today.
Conversation, Mr.
Yeah, I do, because you know what? Traditional methods, either it could be a combination of the two, how it was presented, because I have been successful only teaching the traditional method, okay? But it's when I saw that the groundwork, the way it was, that's why I use the word textbooks, the way the textbooks were written, the way, because, we need to connect the ideas, we need to really, how we start, we learn these things in B.Ed college, of course, kaise hum kar rahe hain, lekin at the same time, the way the math is expressed, the way we even give the rules, like, when I spoke about why are we adding this way, when we read this way, why are we even adding these things? It's not that it's wrong. It's not that it is wrong, but I think the way the logic has been presented, because when we say math is a logical subject, then why is that so many people don't see that logic? Logic hoga to, ya to it's yes or no. It can't be confusing, na?
But यहाँ भी dots को आप हटा रहे हो, उसका logic थोड़ी छोटे बच्चों को बताया जाता है ना. That's what I'm saying. There is a certain age for every logic to be understood. You can't say a kindergarten child, class 1, when they are counting, you cannot give them logic. But this will be a good visual for them, the way, the dots move and all. So maybe, we have our ways of thinking maybe, but we must, it was interesting, so we must have a conversation. Sadhna ji, thank you. And Deepa, I must thank. So anyway, anything related to maths, I will be there. So anyway.
Dr. Uma, any other questions from anyone?
Yes. Anybody would like to ask? Do you have any queries?
I think, for the first time, I understood the concept of binary very well.
Doctor.
Okay. And the second thing, I thought the explanation was too good. I think it was already mentioned, it was for teachers and students between classes 6th and 10th.
Yes.
So till the 5th grade, we don't teach in this manner. But one thing I believe, as a teacher trainer, I always believe once you understand the concept in entirety, you don't have a problem explaining it either ways. You have to delve into the concept. If the teacher is not thorough with the concept, that's where, children lag behind in mathematics, or there's some phobia towards that subject. The teacher is superficial, just practices those examples that are there in the textbook and goes ahead. But the why part of it fails to be explained or understood by the child, and that's where the problem starts. So concepts are very important, and how they should be dealt with. The teacher should actually delve into it and understand it first before explaining it to the children. This is what I feel.
Yeah. Thank you, Ambujamma.
I think the why, as Dr. Iyer just said, once we are able to explain to children the why, and at every age, I would say, and that means connecting at their level to be able to explain why. The kids in elementary school are the most curious, and you see, with all questions, they are why and why. And if we are actually able to explain to them, this is the first year I have this amazing, again, a privilege and an opportunity to teach someone at the 6th grade level. I've never taught 6th grade level, okay? And the questions that came, one of the first question was, and they have some kind of algebra there, some level of algebra there, okay? So, and I said, I just wanted to find out what she would do, okay? So it was something like x plus 6. And I said, what would that be? And she goes, 6x. So I said, and this is a brilliant kid, okay, full of energy, charged up, and you give something like that. And remember, she's just coming from grade 5, which is elementary school, and coming into grade 6. And suddenly there was this X, and and that is what I meant. Ki at that time, at that age, it's just the mind is working logic, na? 6 plus X. Bachcha, kya hai? 6X. Kyunki humne jod diya hai na? She's thinking combine. The concept of add. Right. The concept of add is you're adding. It's like saying, if I have 6 apples and 2 mangoes, what do I have in the bag? She would have said, I have 6 apples and 2 mangoes. I don't have 10 apple mangoes. Or 6 plus 2 is 8, right? Sorry. 8 apple mangoes. Even though bachcha ko pata hai ki main aise nahi. The idea of combine, I use the word combine as opposed to add. She would know that I cannot add 6 apples because apples are of a different kind. Mangoes are of a different kind. Even bachcha knows. Magar, once I start with symbols, 6 plus X, even that little kid will combine and say 6X. Not because she's stupid. But at that age, it's logic, just as logical as, bhai ye kyun nahi tha 1? Why am I adding this way? If we are able to clear, if we have the patience, the belief that, what, yes, I need to complete the syllabus. I will complete the syllabus. Bachche ko na, then see what will happen. You feel free to disagree with me, but I must say that it was wonderful. Thank you so much for having me, for inviting me. And you can see more than math, there's a lot more passion, na, Mrs. Sadhana?
Yes, sir. Sir, actually, I regret I should have got you as a teacher when I was in my school. Because my teachers made me so nervous that I'm really telling you.
All this, as I said at the beginning, Mrs. Sadhana, all this is Dr. Iyer, my mother, and the people that I've met and interacted with, all this. And I say it with all, also, it's all due to their blessings, okay? So, thank you, Mrs. Iyer.
Thank you. Oh my God. I don't think I know you. You are a person with passion from the time I've seen you.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, sir. Uma ma'am? Yeah.
Yes. Mr. John Paul Raj, would you like to conclude anything?
What do I say? First of all, thank you. Okay. Yes, I had a number of things going on. In fact, in another 5 minutes, I need to go and make sure there is carols singing coming in. ये टोपी तो आपने देखा रहेगा यहाँ पे. So, and I had promised my mom that I'll help out with something. Okay, so I need to go and do something. Commitments were there, but for me, as I said, even though there was, my mother asked me this question: is it your webinar or someone else's? Because you know what she meant? She said, why did you have a webinar right now? Itna kaam hai to, But for me, despite all, it is a joy for me to share. I love it. Okay? वो एक आग जैसे अंदर यार, वो passion जो भी हो ना. So if there's something that I can request you all, just pray for me that the passion continues. That's something that God has put in my heart. Okay? With all my heart, I believe that, On my resume, if you read on my resume, the first words on my resume read, I was born to be a teacher. Okay, it wasn't a second option. It was something that I knew from the beginning that I wanted to teach, and I wanted to teach math in a school, not in a college, in a school. All right. And so with that intention, I do that. All I request is prayers and blessings that I continue to be faithful to what God has called me to do.
Merry Christmas
Thank
to
you.
you.
Thank you.
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.
Merry
Yeah.
Christmas.
So before we conclude this session, let me sincerely thank Mr. John Paul Raj. As Sadhana ma'am has already said, math, which is a phobia for so many. This dot, exploding dots, first time I have ever seen and I've ever learned. Thank you so much.